Do you ever feel stuck in the rat race? Life doesn't have to be that way if you're willing to put in the work. In Bigger Vision, Chris Garrison helps you discover the keys to abundance, freedom, and personal growth that let you live the life of your dreams. And now, here's your host, Chris Garrison.
Welcome, everybody. It's Chris Garrison. Appreciate you taking the time to listen to the Bigger Vision podcast. You know, I've got a topic that really hits home with anybody, including myself, that is trying to achieve more in life. Those individuals that are not satisfied with what they've got. Those that believe they have more to do and deserve more in life. It's growing pains. That's the topic of today's discussion. It's growing pains. You know, this last week, I have had a tremendously stressful week mentally. You know, I'm running a disaster cleanup company. I'm also running a real estate company, which is flipping, and also a lot of buy and holds. A large portfolio was purchased and heavily maintenance deferred. Most of the portfolio was not filled with tenants. So there's a rush to influx money to rehab and to find money. So flipping is a part of that, to find money to put into the rehabs, sourcing private funds, banking. And when you've got a very ambitious goal in life and you're hungry for more, it takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of structure to accomplish great, large, hairy, audacious goals. And, you know, those that are in life and they're not really pushing for anything great, they're happy with their 9 to 5. They're happy with just making, you know, paycheck to paycheck. Their lives aren't that complicated. Now, there's complication, don't get me wrong, because there's a whole different type of problems that takes place in that lifestyle. I'm just going to call it paycheck to paycheck lifestyle, because I've been there and I'm not looking down on it. I just got sick and tired of being paycheck to paycheck because that was another problem to me. That was another restriction. And, you know, when you're in that mindset, a lot of your problems are money problems is a number one for sure. The other problems are, most of the time, if you're in that situation, you're not doing self-development. So you're filling your life with drama, and that drama makes you feel busy because you're trying to sort through the bullshit. And a lot of that might just be the people that are in your life and their crap that you're having to deal with, their drama. Maybe it's the fact that you allow too many influences like the news and all of this negativity that is coming across saying, hey, the economy is going to bust. We're in a bubble. Gas prices are so high. If you're listening to that stuff, it is pushing drama into your life. But here's what happens when you're in that paycheck to paycheck, and then you get a vision, you get to look inside the window and you see how people that are not paycheck to paycheck live. It makes you desire more. And as you begin to chase that more, different problems start to happen. No longer is it about the drama of the individuals that are in your life, because you just don't have time for that bull crap. You do not have time to pay attention to any type of activity outside of your mission, trying to get to your goals. And when you begin to move into this atmosphere that's outside of the paycheck to paycheck, then you began to take on problems like structure, like your influence and your mindset and how you act and how you lead, and building a team and adding value to other people's lives so that you can get paid more, and trying to balance your home life with your work life, and also balance your self-care with everything else. And there's just not any balance. You know, so this week has just been very difficult in the sense of I started focusing on the wrong shit. I started focusing on the negativity that was taking place, and it overpowered my thought and mindset. I began to see my inefficiencies in my team and in my organization and in my hiring skills and bringing in new team members, and how I was failing at getting home in time to spend that time with my family because I didn't have the correct structure in place with my businesses, and it was requiring too much of my time. And let me tell you something, it does take a lot of work. You're going to work in a different manner, but hard work will always be a part. I've had this conversation. I've even had people tell me, you beat the fact that work from rise up to sundown. Listen, work is work. You're working on yourself. You're working on your business. You're working on your position at a business if you don't own your own business. The thing that I'm trying to say when I say you got to put the effort in or you're not going to get anywhere is there's plenty of people that tell you the message, it's a quick, get rich, easy, overnight, just do this, just pop the Hot Pocket in the microwave and instantly you've got food. But if you really want something of substance, you are going to have to put in the preparation. And the preparation is difficult in the beginning. The preparation, your body doesn't want it. Your mind doesn't want it. It's saying it's too hard, it's too tough. But you've got to lean into it because through that preparation and through those actions to build something, you begin to acquire strength. Just like if you're trying to eat healthy, you got to prep the meal and you got to put in the work so that you can receive the nutrients that you're supposed to be receiving. In the business, you've got to put in the time and the knowledge to learn and acquire those skill sets, or have enough money and put in the time and the knowledge to find the individuals with those skill sets so that you can paint a vision. There's time that is required and there's effort, and it's not easy, but the results pay off, guys. The results are worth it. When I go to the gym, I'm going to tell you almost 99.9% of the time, going to the gym before I go is me trying to trick myself into going. And the more I make it a routine, the easier it is to get in there. But I don't stay on routine because I'll sit there and say, well, I'm tired, and then I won't go. And then the next day, I'll make the same excuse. And then I start feeling a depletion of confidence in myself because now I'm not keeping my commitments to myself. Those growing pains are going to be experienced as you grow. But here's the deal, man. There's problems in every stage of life. So do you want to do $100 problems or do you want to do $100,000 problems? Do you want to solve the $100 problems or the $100,000 problems? It's all the same. It takes all the same energy. The difference is the payoff is not as great when you're messing with the bull crap that's sitting around you and doesn't deserve your attention. So I began to focus on these negative aspects and I stopped looking at I stopped looking at what I had, what we were doing good, and letting that energy feed me to problem solve how to get out of the negative. And the negative just began to consume me. And this is something that we all fight. Now, the goal is as you go through life, you learn that this is just a part of life and you snap out of it quicker. And I do much better than what I used to do when I was younger. But occasionally, you just get blindsided and it knocks you down. Maybe you were coming out from being sick. If you're sick, it's very hard to keep your mental, at least it is for me, to keep my mental state where it needs to be so that I can be a high achiever at every moment, so that I can multitask and I can move and watch all these pieces and make sure the wrong brick doesn't get stuck in the wrong place so that we don't have a collapse later down the road. But when you're sick, it's very difficult to focus, and it's already a struggle with confidence when you're in that state of mind because you're not feeling 100%. So it's even more important to make sure you've got positive influences and you're really focusing on your gratitude. And that's one thing that I was not able to grasp is my gratitude aspect. But I just pushed. I just moved through the day and I did what I could. And maybe I wasn't performing at my highest because I wasn't there mentally, but I still put the action and the effort in. You've got to put the action and the effort in. So what makes success? It's a combination of many things. And it is a little overwhelming if you think about everything. But you have to pull back and you have to say one step at a time. One step at a time, I'm going to achieve my goals. So the one step might be you just listening to this podcast. And then you listening to other influencers that push positive actions, basic actions that you can implement in your life that are going to make a difference, like getting up and instantly focusing on what you're grateful for and what your future self is. Not what you are right now, but focus on what your future self is, what you believe you will be 5, 10, 20 years from now, because you will be a much better person because you have learned more and you have built more discipline and you have built more positive action, and now it is a part of your makeup. It's no longer something that you just heard. It's something that is infused in you because you've been walking this action. It doesn't happen overnight. Yes, it's a process. No, you're not going to wake up and have one idea and become a billionaire. It's a process of acquiring the 100,000, then the million, then the 2 million, the 10 million, the 15 million, the 50 million. It's a step in process, but we want to look way down the road and say, oh, I just don't have it together. And then we get discouraged, and then we start focusing on the negativity, and the negativity begins to grow because where you focus grows. And instead of looking at and saying, what can I do now and what can I do tomorrow? This is where I have to pull back and I have to say, what can I do now? If my team is not as strong as I want them to be, then what can I do today to change that? So I try to analyze why I feel like my team is not strong. Is it the training? Is it leadership skills? Do I even have leaders? Or do I have a bunch of individuals that take direction only and can't put a plan of action out? Do I have the correct training and the correct tools and equipment for them to be successful? Did I give them and paint them a big enough and great enough picture to inspire them? Because great performers are not going to jump on a vision that's not inspiring. Great performers want to find a place that they can grow. Great performers are seeking for opportunity because being stagnant in life is depression. But as soon as you're able to grab opportunity and believe that growth is going to come, your achievers will jump on board. They want to be on that ship. They want to be on that yacht with you, going to helping you build your dreams as you help them build theirs. So your attitude, you've got to have faith and belief that you can do it. Your influences around you need to support that faith and belief of that you can do those goals. That you've got to have the dedication and the hunger for more. There's got to be structure. I have found that I've got to structure my life because when you begin to bite off large amounts of action without structure, you're going to get overwhelmed and consumed. And then everything's a fire. And this is a huge thing that I fight with almost every day is this does not deserve my attention right now. I've got other things that are important. Matter of fact, I was speaking to a friend of mine that's been a part of my business coaching as well in the past. And she said, Chris, you've got to put that plan of action together. And then you take it one day at a time. And then look back and celebrate what you have accomplished. Just 5 years ago, look at where you were at. And now look at all of the tools and equipment. You can do almost anything you wanted to do in the cleaning industry. Look at the fact that you do have a team and you've had the time available so that you could go out and pursue real estate. It took me a minute to get to that point. I knew I wanted to go after real estate and began to understand that industry and began to that asset and purchase those assets so that I could grow my wealth, because that was a different vehicle. That was a vehicle I felt like that was going to allow me to amass lots of wealth quicker than me just building a business. And the reality is the business is going to, the real estate is going to, the Forex trading is going to, the crypto is going to, but because my exposure of the right influences, I began to get inspired and I just diversified myself. As soon as I had a little money, I put it in crypto. As soon as I had a little money, I put it in Forex. As soon as I had a little money, I was trying to purchase real estate. A whole time I'm studying and learning about this. So she asked me, got off subject there, but she asked me, what is your to-do list look like? And I said, well, unfortunately, half the time I'll write it the day before. And some days I just come in and the day drives me. The day pushes me in what direction, Wherever the need is, that's where I go, which is completely right the opposite of what you should be doing as a high achiever. Because if you are just being driven by whatever is coming into the day, then if bullshit comes into the day, that's what's going to be your driver, and that's you're going to get your focus put on. Where if I did what she recommended is, Chris, you need no more than 3 things to accomplish each day. Then you will focus on those 3 things instead of a list of 10, 15, 20, or no list at all. And then you get hit with everybody that's around you and the little things that are going on because you've got no focus at that point. That's one of the biggest things that I have found about myself and other individuals is they say, yes, I want to have millions. I want financial freedom. I want to have my own business and I'm going to do this. And they've got this big vision painted in front of them, but they've got no plan of action of how they're going to go do it. What is going to be your first step? What is going to be your second step? When are you going to start hiring individuals to come help you? And how are you going to onboard them so that they believe in this vision that as much as you believe in this vision? You got to have the team that supports the vision to be able to scale and to be able to grow in a massive way. Because as you're growing, they're going to be growing. They're getting your influence. You're getting their influence. They're getting benefits from your knowledge and skill set that you have, and you're getting benefits from their knowledge and skill set. That's what makes a great team, is where it's a win-win situation, where you got to find out what your team members' desire is. Again, if you can't have a vision of opportunity, then you're not going to attract. And this is something that I had to really learn is, where's the opportunity for my team? You know, I had the vision and I was passionate about it, and that passion shows through, but what is the structure so that they know they can come in and they're going to get paid off their efforts? Adding value, man. You got to add value. And adding value is based off enhancing someone's life. That's what we believe value is. That's what value is. How does it enhance your life? How does it make your life better? Life is not easy, but life is good. But you have to train your mind to focus on the things that are positive and look forward and not in the past. Occasionally you reflect on your past wins, and then you structure in the main priority things that need to be tackled, and you tackle those. With me, man, I've got this massive list because I got so much going on. And when I don't look at, okay, what is my big rock? You know, when they're building when the road company comes in and they build a road and they're starting with just the dirt, they bring in rocks, they bring in aggregate, and these rocks start off large because they're packing down the foundation. And then once those large rocks are set, then they come back in on top with smaller rocks that fills in the cracks where these big rocks didn't fill. So the big rocks keep the small rocks from sinking down into the dirt because the big rocks have a larger mass and build a foundation that the small rocks can sit on top of. In your life, you've got to do the same thing. You take your big priority, those big rocks, those ones that are going to build a foundation. So let's say that you're just starting your business. What is the foundational thing that is going to allow you to start this business? Well, it's going to be the skill set, the knowledge set. Now, are you going to have to acquire that, or are you going to hire someone that already has that skill set and you're going to plug them into a system? Well, the other thing is the system. That is a large priority. So what does your organizational chart look like? How does the flow of process from prospecting a customer to completing and invoicing the service or the product to that customer? These are foundational things. And then after that, you begin to fill in the small minor things like, how do we get more efficient on servicing or getting this product out the door? How do we get more streamlined processing our customers' requests so that they get a response much quicker? How do we perfect our marketing so that we know we're getting the customers that are actually going to buy our product or our service? Start with the big rocks. Fill in the small rocks after that. So take a pen, take a paper or your phone and pull the notepad up and begin to jot down all the things that you feel like you need to accomplish. And then out beside them, I want you to put a dollar sign, and that dollar sign is going to represent what is a revenue generating, something that's going to push you forward in your goal. And yes, I'm talking in general concept that we're talking about business and money, because money truly is the driver in most people's life of why they are or are not happy. Because if you've got money, it takes a lot of stress off of you. If you don't have it, then you don't have as many options and choices to in life. No, it's not going to make you happy, but the lifestyle that it allows you to help does. All right. So you're going to put that money sign next to the things that is really pushing you forward. And then you're going to go back at that money sign and you're going to sit there and hit a 1, a 2, or a 3 in what you feel like should be done first, second, or third. And this is just one method to help you structure what you need to be focusing on, because you are a $10,000 an hour task producer. Find someone else that hasn't put the effort in that you have and doesn't have the hunger and drive that you have and doesn't have the experience that you have, someone that's coming in, because we all start somewhere. We all start at the $10 an hour, and then we move up to the $100 an hour, and then we move up because we graduate. So find someone that's not graduated up to that 10,000 and that enjoys those $100 tasks, and you let them do the $100 task. You are meant to focus on the $10,000 task. Life is a journey, and you're not going to get it all up front. And everybody, just remember, everybody that you see highly successful deals with the exact same shit. It's just at different levels. It just hits us. It's just got more zeros behind it, the problems. And I had rather spend my time solving multiple zero problems than mediocre problems like a tool was lost and how do we fix from losing a tool? How do we fix that? I had rather say, who can I put in place to make sure that we stop losing tools out in the field and accountability is brought in? Then that allows me to focus on other things that are going to produce massive achievements for my massive goals. Acting on the opportunities, your network, your money, the revenue, the capital, the confidence, the leadership, self-reflection, and the self-development. All of these things are part of what is going to make someone successful. So don't get overwhelmed in the daily activities and the things that aren't working right. Focus on what is going to produce what you're trying to achieve if you implement something. Find the something that you can implement so that you can focus on the achievements, not the setbacks, so that you can keep your vision in front of you, not behind you. Network and get those individuals that are doing things to keep you encouraged in your life. And then have a vision of opportunity so that you can plug in other individuals to create a team that they are accomplishing their dreams while they're helping you accomplish your dreams. I want you guys to live in success. I'm telling you, life is great only if you think and put the right things into your life. Think and grow rich, act and grow rich. It takes both, the thinking and the acting. It's not always easy, but when you put the work in, create an easier and better life down the road. No, you don't have to beat up 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Build some time of rest. I want to make sure that I point that out. Make sure you get your rest, because when you do not have enough rest, you cannot think as clearly. And I don't care what anybody else says. This is exactly what I have noticed in my life. The more rested I am, the more clear I think, the more confident I am, the more task I accomplish, and the more confidence comes from those wins in accomplishing those tasks. This is how you go through a daily routine that allows you to eventually see yourself 5 years from now and say, holy crap, look at what we have accomplished. Look at the growth that has taken place. It's not happening tomorrow. It's happening in the very daily small wins every single day. And a small win might be you went and spent time with your family on Saturday. A small win might be that you actually went to the gym, or that you made that decision to accomplish that task that's been sitting on your to-do list for months now because it wasn't an enjoyable task. But the unenjoyable stuff are typically the things that move you the farthest. It's typically those catalysts that really push you to achieve those goals. I want you to live in success. Let's grow together. If you enjoyed this episode, please hop on there and give me a 5-star review. Give me a verbal, written comment, because that helps me on the algorithm. If you're not plugged into a community currently, then please check out Facebook group Bigger Vision. And it's a free community, costs you absolutely nothing. You get tons of content. We do live interviews there. We talk about mindset, business, investing, kind of what we do on this podcast as well. And I just want to see you guys grow. I am very hungry to grow, and I know you're hungry to grow. And all we've got to do is plug in with the right content and then apply that content and take those opportunities instead of running from them in fear. We take those opportunities. We begin to see success blow up.
This program is brought to you by thepodcastfactory.com.